I'm talking about this as a seasoned banker. I've been in the banking industry in Canada since 2006. So, कौन से product आपको basic चाहिए Canada में? Which bank is focusing on new immigrants? I'll talk about credit score. Bank would not look at you if you do not have a credit score. Hello friends, welcome back to Desi in Canada. एक बार फिर आपका दोस्त अहमद कुरैशी आपके साथ। आज की वीडियो में हम उस टॉपिक को डिस्कस करेंगे जो मेजॉरिटी न्यू इमिग्रेंट्स जो कनाडा में लैंड करते हैं उनका एक तो पहली टास्क होती है कनाडा में पहुंच के करने की, और एक बहुत स्ट्रेसफुल टास्क होती है कि बैंक अकाउंट खोलना है, कौन सा बैंक पिक करना है, क्या चीज़ें आपको उस बैंक में देखनी हैं बिफोर यू ओपन द अकाउंट, बिकॉज देयर आर सो मेनी बैंक्स अवेलेबल एंड एवरीवन वुड टेल यू कि जी आवर बैंक इज़ द बेस्ट, आवर बैंक इज़ द बेस्ट, बट द इशू इज़ not every bank is flexible enough to support the new immigrants, because new immigrants, when they come here, they have certain challenges of either moving money or no credit score that a lot of the banks would not touch new immigrants. But this thing is changing in the last little while, where most of the Canadian banks are now focusing especially on special product packages for new immigrants, people like you and me who are coming from our home countries to Canada, making Canada their home. They are targeting these type of customers because the influx, there's so many of us are coming here, कि banks के लिए it's up and up और बहुत positive है कि to increase their customer base. Now banking in Canada is very different from back home, but not in a bad way. It's way easier than the way we used to bank in Pakistan, India, or any other country from where we are coming from. But the trick is, as long as you know how the banking system works, you'll find it so easy, so convenient for you to utilize the banking services in Canada that you won't believe it. So this is the focus of this video. I'm going to tell you exactly what are the main players in the industry, which bank is focusing on new immigrants, which banks are not focusing on new immigrants, what products are available, and also in the end, I'll talk about credit score, which is a very key item in Canada for anyone, whether you are an immigrant or a non-immigrant, but it's a challenging thing for new immigrants because we do not have a credit score when we come here. And banks would only lend you money for a car loan, for mortgage, for credit card, for line of credit, for anything that you want to buy on financing or on credit. Bank would not look at you if you do not have a credit score. So that's going to be the last piece of this video. So let's jump right into it. अच्छा, the first thing you want to see when you pick a bank is कि जी उनकी फीस क्या है. डिफरेंट तरह की फीस होती हैं. आपकी बैंक अकाउंट खोलने की मंथली फीस होती है कि जी ये इस टाइप का अकाउंट चाहिए. कुछ अकाउंट बैंक्स वाले आपको फ्री देते हैं, उसको पे एज यू गो कोई कहता है, या इस तरह का कोई नाम देते हैं कि जी आप यूज करें तब पे करें, नहीं यूज करेंगे तो नहीं पे करेंगे. कुछ आपको सर्टेन नंबर ऑफ ट्रांजैक्शंस देते हैं कि जी आप महीने के $5 दो, you'll have 15 transactions. But overall this gets so confusing कि इनिशियली तो आप फ्री अकाउंट ले लेते हैं पे एज यू गो वाला, बट व्हेन यू स्टार्ट यूजिंग दैट अकाउंट फॉर ट्रांजैक्शंस यू एंड अप पेइंग $15, $20, $30 in your monthly bank account fees. A lot of new players are coming in the market. Overall in North America and in Canada, digital only banks आ गए हैं. A lot of major banks are also offering free accounts. So make sure when you look for a bank, you focus on the fee structure first. Ask questions when you go to the bank or speaking with somebody over the phone. Make sure you ask questions, answer questions. How many transactions are you expected on doing every month? So उस हिसाब से pick the right account. मेरे पास अकाउंट है, जैसे नियो फाइनेंशियल का है, पीसी फाइनेंशियल का मेरा अकाउंट है, and these accounts are 100% free, unlimited transaction and 100% free. But because they are digital only banks, there are some downsides to it too. I cannot go and meet with the banker if I have to for anything. So there are pros and cons in everything. So we'll start with how do you choose the right bank. So you have to keep in mind, you are choosing the bank is not choosing you. So you are the customer, you are in power. You need to understand, talk to your peers. There are a lot of calculators available online जिसमें आप जाके assess कर सकते हैं कि what type of account fits you better. उसमें they'll ask you questions कि जी कितनी transactions आप करेंगे, आप इंटरनेट पे ऑनलाइन ट्रांसफर्स करेंगे, आप ईमेल ट्रांसफर यहाँ पे होता है, आप ईमेल ट्रांसफर करेंगे, या इस तरह की वायर ट्रांसफर आपको बैक होम इंडिया पाकिस्तान में अगर वायर ट्रांसफर करना है, उस तरह के फीचर्स होते हैं, उसकी क्या फीस है. तो make sure you understand your requirement first before jumping into and talking to the bank. Do some homework, try and see what type of account or need do you have. Because जब बैंक में आप जाते हैं ना, it gets very overwhelming for us when we as a customer enter a bank in a new country for the first time. We tend to say yes to everything. But what I'm asking you to, before you go to any bank or speak with any banker, do your homework, see what is your need. International पैसे भेजना is your need or not? Email transfer is your need or not? कितनी ट्रांजैक्शन आप करेंगे? आप 10 ट्रांजैक्शन करेंगे या 50 ट्रांजैक्शन करेंगे महीने की? A lot of people would use their debit card for basic transfers and use their credit card for day-to-day transactions. So ये वो needs हैं जो आपको analyze करनी है before you speak with the bank, and then you are in control to ask questions. कि what do they offer? How much do they charge for wire transfer? Some banks would charge you $40, $50, $60 for wire transfers. Some banks offer wire transfers for free. So that's the key thing. How do you pick the right bank? You prepare yourself on what your needs are. I'm talking about this as a seasoned banker. I've been in the banking industry in Canada since 2006. So I've helped a lot of new immigrants in Canada. I do some financial literacy courses for new immigrants in Canada. And this is exactly what I tell them. You need to understand what your needs are, then you be in control and start asking questions. What are the banks available? So you'll see a lot of places, everybody's going to talk about big five. So 5 major banks in Canada. What are these 5 banks? So there's RBC, there's TD, there's CIBC, there is Scotiabank, and there's BMO. So these are the 5 major banks that have some great presence in the country, in every province. They are national banks. Some of these banks have international branches too. And they tend to offer a lot of products for new immigrants. In the last little while, a lot of these major banks are trying to get more and more immigrant customers. Some would offer you credit card, and we'll go in the products in detail in a minute. But apart from these, so these are big 5, but they're not the only 5 banks. There are a lot of smaller banks. In Alberta, you have Alberta Treasury branches. So ATB is one of the banks. Service Credit Union is one of the banks here. There's a lot of credit unions and smaller banks you'll see. And you'll see, as I said, I'm going to repeat that. You are in control. All these banks are now trying to get you to their branches, to their bank to open the account. Another thing I want to mention is every bank is focused very aggressively on the need that today's customers have, which is digital banking. So we try and do most of the transactions online. So that's the other thing you want to assess. Who has the best mobile banking app that supports your needs? Every bank has a good app, but there are certain features that some banks has on the mobile app, some have on the internet banking through computer or through PC. Some would say, okay, certain transactions you can do digitally, but for the rest you have to come in the branch. So that's where you need to figure out which bank would come and offer you exactly what your need is. So we'll go on each bank one by one, and I'll tell you what the basic products are, and I'll share the links in the description of what programs they have for new immigrants. So you feel free to go in the detail in the description and see each bank's offerings and what banks are offering to new immigrants, especially in Canada. अच्छा, पहले बैंक की हम बात करेंगे स्कोशिया बैंक की. तो स्कोशिया बैंक, they offer a product called Start Right program that allows you to open a bank account before arriving in Canada with unlimited, no-fee international money transfers. Newcomers can enjoy the first year of banking with Scotiabank for free, along with the tailored products and services. Now, the first year is free, but after first year, there might be some fees that would be involved. But again, you take advantage of these features when you come here. If they're offering it for the first year as a free service, maybe after a year, if they start charging you fees that you don't like, you can definitely move to a different bank. That's not a big deal to switch banks in Canada. Banks usually take care of these switching between banks. So if you go to, for example, CIBC will take care of moving all your stuff from Scotiabank to CIBC as an example. Next bank की हम बात करेंगे BMO. So BMO again is one of the oldest bank in Canada, built in 1817. They offer tailored services for new immigrants. Again, in the description, you'll see all the products they offer for new immigrants. And they have a bigger customer base. So 12 million customers in total, very great branch network overall. Availability is good. Mobile banking app is fairly decent as well. So that's the other bank that you can look for. Third one, we're going to talk about CIBC. So again, they were formed in 1961. CIBC has modernized its banking platform and offer a checking account that suits newcomers' needs. With one of the largest ATM networks and online banking platform in Canada, they support features like most banks will support it, but they especially mention it on their website that they support Apple Pay and Google Pay. And they basically, what they say when they talk about newcomers is they are trying to simplify their products for new immigrants who are coming into Canada. RBC is another bank. They offer specialized products you'll see on the screen, and they offer various products for new immigrants. They offer credit cards to new immigrants. You can also get a secured card for $500. So you buy a GIC, an investment for $500. They'll secure a credit card against that $500 and give you a credit card worth $500. So your money is kind of secured, but you still have access to that as a credit on a credit card. And what that will do to you, I'll talk about that in the credit bureau conversation that I'm going to have at the end of this video. TD is also known as Toronto Dominion Bank. They have great presence in Canada and USA. Many newcomers you'll see, and in my experience what I've seen is they opt for TD in most cases, because even if you go to TD's branch, their branches are very diversified. You will see a lot of new immigrants working in these branches too. So that kind of gives some kind of ease to a newcomer in Canada to speak with somebody who can speak their language. And they have very tailored products for new immigrants in Canada. So bank account जो आप खुलवा लेंगे, again, you have to focus on the fees and the type of transactions and understand your need. But now let's talk about the credit bureau situation. Now, the way credit bureau works is that everyone will get a score from, I think it's somewhere between 400 to 850. That score is what a bank would see when you are applying for credit. So applying for credit means applying for a mortgage, applying for a car loan, applying for any kind of loan or line of credit. Bank will pull your credit bureau at the time of doing the application, and they'll assess your credit worthiness based on your credit score. Now, some people will have bad credit score, some people will have good credit score. Bad credit score means someone who is missing payments on their credit facilities. So credit products that उनके पास already हैं, उनके पास सेल फोन भी credit bureau पे अब रिपोर्ट होता है. ऐसी चीज़ों में वो bills में लेट हैं तो आपका score weak होता रहता है. If you pay everything on time and you pay every revolving credit in full and every loan payment every month without delay, then it keeps on improving your score over the period of time. So when the bank will see your credit bureau, the first thing they'll see is your score. And of course, job, आपकी employment, आपकी income, आपकी personal information, residence का address और ये सारी चीज़ें तो बैंक देखता है, लेकिन credit bureau plays a significant part. So please make sure you focus on this the first day you come. When a bank offers you a credit card, don't think it's free money for you to spend. Make sure you use it wisely with one thing in mind, that you have to improve your score. Because अब नए आए हैं तो you may be renting, but eventually you want to buy a new car, you want to buy a new house. So उन सब चीज़ों के लिए credit bureau आपके काम आएगा. So focus on credit bureau. Keep checking your score. Again, I'll throw a link in the description of Equifax का, जहाँ पे आप अपना जाके credit bureau check कर सकते हैं. Score check करने का feature, again, one thing I forgot to mention, a lot of these banks now offer free credit score check. तो इनकी मोबाइल ऐप्स में फीचर मौजूद है कि व्हाट्स माई क्रेडिट स्कोर. तो दे आर गिविंग, यूजुअली Equifax आपसे $15-20 लेता है एक बार क्रेडिट स्कोर चेक करने के लिए. बट बैंक्स, बिकॉज दे वांट टू ऑफर यू एडिशनल फीचर्स एंड सर्विसेज, banks now are paying to Equifax to show you your score. So that's another feature you can look for when you talk to a bank in Canada, that do you offer this service where I can check my credit score for free. तो कौन से प्रोडक्ट आपको बेसिक चाहिए कनाडा में? नंबर 1 आपको चाहिए एक चेकिंग अकाउंट, जिसको करंट अकाउंट भी बोलते हैं पाकिस्तान इंडिया में, उसको यहाँ पे चेकिंग अकाउंट कहते हैं. नंबर 2 आपको चाहिए सेविंग अकाउंट, जहां पे आप थोड़े बहुत अगर पैसे सेव कर सकते हैं, यू थ्रो दैट मनी इन. सेविंग अकाउंट पे आप इंटरेस्ट अर्न करते हैं, करंट अकाउंट पे या चेकिंग अकाउंट पे आपको इंटरेस्ट नहीं मिलता. थर्ड प्रोडक्ट जो आपको चाहिए राइट ऑफ द बैट एट द वेरी बिगिनिंग इज अ क्रेडिट कार्ड. As I said, a lot of banks would offer you a secured card because there's no risk for that bank. But a lot of these banks are now offering a smaller limit, $500 to $1,000 credit card with no security to new immigrants. So make sure you inquire that which bank is offering credit card without any security to new immigrants. Go with that bank. Because credit card आप जब हर महीने use करेंगे and you pay full amount at the end of the month, your credit bureau score would keep on improving. So in a year's time or 6 months time, you'll keep on establishing your credit score, and then you will be able to qualify for a bigger purchase, for a car or for a house, for other things that you want to buy. Now this video, I'll end it right here. So this was just a basic intro on the banking. So what my idea now is, every month I'm going to make 1 or 2 videos to talk about banking products in Canada. We can dig deeper into the type of accounts. We'll dig deeper into investment products where you can start saving. I'll give you some tips and tricks at how you can save money. We'll talk about mortgages, that how you can buy your first house in Canada. I'll also cover how you can save up for down payment. We'll cover different type of mortgages that are available to you as a new immigrant, or if you're not even a new immigrant, what kind of mortgages are available to you in Canada. What are the positives and negatives of using a mortgage broker or using a bank? So we'll cover all these things in my series of banking product videos. In next few weeks, you'll start seeing this kind of videos on my channel as well. Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate your support. And please like and subscribe and share this video with as many people as you possibly can and support my channel. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video.